We start at the rear of the field, and electing to start scratch tonight. He was originally scheduled to start 15. He drives the number 97. And this man taking over the wheel of the Earth Technology Incorporated backup car tonight, the Pontiac Sunbird. From Guilford, Connecticut, it's Kenny Horton.
Next, we move to a competitor that runs weekly at the Waterford Speed Bowl and the Thompson International Speedway. He's an independent runner, the driver of the MJ Shushuk Chevrolet Cavalier. From Gales Ferry, Connecticut, would you welcome car number 66 for Wendell Daly.
And just in front of him, and we're delighted to welcome him from Ridge, Long Island, New York, it's the FlowRideExhaust.com Pontiac Grand Prix number 38 for Richie Carmen.
Next, we move to a gentleman, believe it or not, he raced with me when I raced here in the 70s in the six-cylinder sportsman division. Driving car number 76, ladies and gentlemen, from Westerly, Rhode Island, the Ashaway Special, car number 76 for Butch Perry.
And right alongside, the Flying Zero, renumbered the number 10. From Canterbury, Connecticut, a special driver at the Waterford Speed Bowl, picked up one win during the course of this season. He's aboard the Young Racing Chevrolet Cavalier. It's Ricky Young.
Car number 46 will be next on the grid. He runs at the New London Waterford Speed Bowl, the A&W Automotive Chevrolet Cavalier. From Danbury, Connecticut, the driver of car number 46, Rob Valenta.
Next in our lineup, he's aboard the number 73, the Rich Okasey number 73, the Summit Consulting Group Cavalier. From Vernon, Connecticut, Len Griswold.
The next starter to the field will drive car number 45. He's run all season long here at Stafford, consistently well among the top 10 cars. He'll drive the Bobcat of Connecticut Chevrolet Cavalier. Jim Larson owns the automobile, and Jim Larson drives the automobile. From East Hartland, Connecticut, car number 45 for Jimmy Larson.
Next to him in our starting lineup, this gentleman has performed well all season long here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. He drives the number 6 Chevrolet Cavalier. From Manchester, Connecticut, it's the Gene Langan Volkswagen entry for Chris Osella.
Next, we move to the gentleman that Raleigh mentioned earlier that's celebrating an anniversary. Kart Tracks is his sponsor, driving car number 96. From Canton, Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, it is Kurt Brainerd.
Put this gentleman next behind the wheel of any type of racing vehicle, and he'll do the job for you. It's the JG Pool and Drywall number 78, the Pontiac Grand Prix. From Springfield, Massachusetts, Chuck Doherty.
Next, we move to one of the drivers that a lot of people are talking about. He is considered among the sharpest of the young guns to compete. He has won in what they refer to as 350 Super Modifieds. He's won in midgets. He's won in SK Modifieds. And he's only 17 years old. Third generation driver, the Prestige Motorsports number 81 from Franklin, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Santos III.
Right alongside him, another outstanding young driver. He's from Rocky Hill, Connecticut, and chauffeurs the North End Auto Parts Pontiac Grand Prix number 54. Right in contention, right down to the end for the championship of this division. Please welcome Eric Burnt.
Next, we move to car number 69. He's another second-generation driver, the Meservey Racing Team Chevrolet Cavalier. It's called the Coffee Depot Machine. That's their newest business adventure. From South Chatham, Massachusetts, car number 69 for Doug Meservey.
Right alongside Doug is a gentleman who, if they gave a Most Improved Driver award, this gentleman had to be right there at the top of the list. He's aboard the Earth Technology Incorporated Pontiac Firebird, number 91, from Cheshire, Connecticut, Frank Rocco.
Jimmy Galante owns the automobile. They refer to this team as the Mystique Motorsports Special, but there's no mystique about it. The Tornado has been to the winner's circle, been there, done that many times before. He is a former national champion, respected as one of the very best drivers in the country when it comes to short track competition. From Plainville, Connecticut, like him or hate him, he's the very best in short track modified racing. Ladies and gentlemen, TC Ted Christopher.
Joining Ted in that row is a gentleman who showed a tremendous amount of talent for us once again this year. He drives the Arbitel Convenience Stores number 39. From New Milford, Connecticut, two-time winner this season, Chris Jones.
Next, we move to the driver of car number 18, Cliff Nelson Motorsports, listed among the sponsors with Electrical Contractors Incorporated. This Chevrolet Cavalier climbed to the front of the field week after week in Friday night competition. From Enfield, Connecticut, the color blue, and car number 18 has been the combination in 2003 for Jeff Burrell.
Well, here's a chance to give a final salute for the man who wrapped up the SK Modified Championship last weekend. He drives the West Boylston CarQuest Auto Parts Chevrolet Cavalier number 79. From Needham, Massachusetts, the champ, Kerry Malone.
Next we go to a fine independent runner. The Data Capture Solutions United Rentals machine is up next. From South Windsor, Connecticut, Bob Hayden is listed as the car owner. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome John Sandberg?
Right along with John. Certainly when you talk about popular drivers as well as capable drivers, he's right up there. The driver of the number 16, the Davidson Specialty Foods Grand Prix. From Stafford Springs, it's Willie Hardy Jr.
Next we go to car number 29. They talk about the class of 2003. He was among the toughest. From Meriden, Connecticut, the Savali's Front Row Auto Repair Chevrolet Cavalier. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome the young and talented James Savali?
In our front row, on the outside, from Danbury, Connecticut, the Lasco Roofing and Sheet Metal Cavalier. This driver continually showing improvement. The number 93 for George Bissett.
And the man that starts at the point in this event. He is the son of one of the top drivers of the Featherlight Modified Series. His uncle also competes on that series as well. In 2003, he won his first open-wheel modified event. But he's no stranger to winning in the Legend cars. Ladies and gentlemen, the driver of car number 5, the Dolly's Auto Center Chevrolet Cavalier from Lisbon, Connecticut, Charlie Pastriak's son, Chris Pastriak. That is your starting lineup as the drivers are about ready to strap in to their race cars to go the distance. 80 circuits around is the story in this one. Unlike a regular Friday night event here at Jackaroot Stafford Motor Speedway, cautions will not count. That could change the whole strategy and the whole complexion of all of this here tonight. The equipment is ready. Chris Pastriak on the inside of the front row. George the Mad Dog Bissett. Off turn number 4, here's Matt Buckler with the start of the final event of 2003.
Chris Pastriak, the rookie. Mad Dog Bissett, the veteran. They are crazy glued to each other as they hit the second turn. Mad Dog trying to nudge ahead. Pastriak stutters a bit, and Mad Dog opens up a lead.
Willie Hardy goes to the outside of Pastriak. They're rows of 2, paired off behind him, coming to the front with a vengeance. Here comes the champ Malone. Throw a blanket over the top 5, down to the bottom of turn 1.
And Savali on the inside. Now on the outside, Willie Hardy trying to buzz his way past Chris Pastriak. Give the number 2 position to Willie Hardy.
The tail that wags a dog becomes Malone. Trouble now. He gets out of shape. Malone will make contact with the Armco barrier. Up in turn number 4, the right front literally laid back. And Kerry Malone, the champion of 2003, has a problem, makes contact with the wall, but it looks like Malone is trying to get away under his own power. 1 lap in the record books. Remember, cautions don't count. So Tony Sutton working very hard down on pit road as we're about to go back to green, and we do. George, the Mad Dog Bissett, the color orange, emerges at the point. Chris Pastriak in the outside lane. Here comes Willie Hardy. The drivers in the top 10, the guy that's got the most laps on this racetrack, at this point would have to be a toss-up between Willie Hardy and Teddy Christopher.
They've both been around the block a few times. John Sandberg showing a little muscle early on. He is in the number 5 position. Burrell on the outside. He is going to whirlwind his way into the top 5.
There to the bottom of the racetrack comes James Savali. Trouble now. Further back, Christopher goes spinning like a top. Contact is made. Burnt is involved with no place to go. And the 97 is also involved, but Teddy Christopher spun initially. Did he have some help? Well, you decide. And then Chuck Doherty with the number 78 car also became a victim of circumstances. The story the same for Eric Burnt. So 2 laps into the record books.
On the restart, George Bissett trying to get the upper hand against Chris Pastriak, and the Mad Dog is doing plenty of growling at the front of the field.
out in front at the point. Diamond formation. Look at James Savali. That's Frank Wainwright's old race car. Savali's dad decided to sell everything, then decided to get back in, and he purchases this car, and so far it's working. He sets in the 4th spot down underneath Chris Pastriak. Can't do it. Savali backs up the hill. Burrill is right there, and so isn't Meserve. Down to the bottom of turn 3.
Doug Meserve said that he found problems with the car last week at the fall final. They made corrections, and now he has a rocket as he cruises along in the top 5.
Perhaps the surprise of all of this is the 91 as it works its way to the front. Savali's down on pit road. Something went awry with car number 29. Back
Flat
up
tire.
front. Willie Hardy is right there. Battle of the orange and black. Who's it going to be down into turn 1?
And Bissett is able to close the door on Willie Hardy. Jimmy Savale on pit road because of that flat tire and a 3-car altercation. Wendell Daly involved in turn 2 along with Valenta in the 45 and Jim Larson.
Everything is okay. We're still at speed and under green flag conditions. Down to the bottom of turn number 1. It is still the color orange for the Mad Dog. George, the Mad Dog Bissett, holding off Willie Hardy, the Mad Hatter, as he works his way to the bottom on the inside. Pastriak in the 3rd spot, Burrill in 4. We've got a yellow. It is for the Bob Valente machine that tries to get off the racetrack but doesn't quite make it in turn number 4. We're back and racing down to the bottom of turn 1.
Another battle heats up between Bissett and Hardy, and George Bissett driving a different race car than the one he competed with all season long, leading by fingernails over Willie Hardy Jr.
Look a little further back. Look who's come to the front with a vengeance. Teddy Christopher, in less than 3 laps, has moved into the top 10. Almost as I say 10, he has worked his way into the top 8. Down the back straightaway, Burrill has become a player. The blue number 18 moves into 2nd. Hardy's got his hands full off turn number 4.
And it is Burrill in car number 18 by centimeters over the 16 car of Hardy with 91, Frank Rocco. He is off to a strong start. Let's go to Tony.
Well, real quickly, Kerry Malone is out of the car, and what we thought might happen, happened. The rack system, which controls the steering, broke on the number 79. He is out of the car.
So Kerry Malone, the 2003 champion, on the sidelines. Doug Meserve going to work on Pastriak. Meserve in car number 69 as he will missile his way into the top 5.
Off the 4th turn, back to the stripe they come. 10 laps click off in this event. We've got trouble. Perry and Glenn Griswold, strangely enough, goes right into Perry after he had spun on the racetrack, almost as if perhaps something broke in Griswold's steering with the number 73 car. A 3rd car was involved in the altercation, and that, we believe, is the 38 machine of Richie Carmen out of Ridge, New York. So that brings out another caution, the 3rd caution of the event. 10 circuits of the 80 are now complete. A few years back, I picked Eric Byrne when he first came onto the scene at 16 years of age. He was going to be a superstar, and he's lived up to that. But right now, let's live up to more action super style. Down into turn 1, the Mad Dog at the point. Burrill running to the outside. Hardy waiting in the wings. And there's the 91 moving in for Frank Rocco.
Frank Rocco won the longest race of the season, the SK Modified 150. He's in a good position in this one with 69 laps to go. Meserve in 5th, and a good battle contested for the 6th spot. Kurt Brainerd, who has had a tough season, but he showed pretty good move right there as he just turboed his way past the 5 of Chris Pastriak.
Also coming into the top 10 now is Chris Acella with car number 6. He's doing a good job. John Sandberg's coming back to life, and Teddy Christopher isn't as quick after this adjustment as he was the last time, but there's still plenty of time to get the job done. Moving into 3rd, Rocco's a man with a mission, Matt. He'll take over the 3rd spot. Burrill is shuffled back to 4. Meserve sets in 5th. Back to the line they come.
Brainerd in 6th, 7th, Pastriak. Now Chuck Doherty going to work. A little contact being made in the middle of the pack, and here comes Doherty underneath Pastriak. Remember, Doherty involved in an early altercation, but that car is fast as he is able to muscle his way underneath Pastriak.
There's no question about it. He is running very, very strong. Santos now has been very patient, and when you're 17 years of age, that's an amazing accomplishment all by itself. But Santos is coming to the front, but he isn't using up the tires of the race car. I think you're going to see him strong in the latter part of this event.
Well, I think they rolled back the numbers on his birth certificate because he might be 17 on paper, but as a driver, he's older than that. He competes in the midgets, in the super modifieds, and he looks very comfortable today in that SK modified.
Off the turn, back down to the line. Leader still remains George the Mad Dog Bissett. That's Billy Anderson's old race car. He told us today that he hated to see it go, but he's got something big planned for 2004. Right now, George the Mad Dog Bissett's got something big planned for 2003.
This is Mad Dog's first full season driving an SK Modified, and it looks like he is pretty polished right now as he has polished off Willie Hardy Jr. for the first 16 laps. Waiting in the wings, Frank Rocco. Jeff Burrell is fourth. And what about Teddy Christopher, Ben? As he looks like he's ready to invade the top 10 again. Watch him go to work against the 27 of John Sandberg.
That race car has tremendous forward bite. You can see him literally when he gets back on the gas. He'll pick up about a car length and a half. Now watch him go into turn number 2. He'll come out of that second turn. He'll be right with him. Now watch what happens down the other end of the racetrack. He gets off the gas just a minute, steps on the gas, and look at him just reel him in.
Well, Gadabout Gaddis couldn't reel somebody in any better than that. Great move by Teddy Christopher as he is like a barnacle on the back bumper of the 27 car of Sandberg. The script is the same at the front of the field. Here comes Chuck Doherty trying to dive down low against Kurt Brainerd.
Doherty is right there. Santos is watching all of that. Those three cars run nose to tail. Here comes Doherty to the outside. Will he be able to pull it off in turn 2?
If you're running well at Stafford, you can pass on the outside. We see Ted Christopher do it, and we are about to see Doherty do it as he pulls even with a 96. He's all over him like a straitjacket.
He certainly is. Down into turn number 1. They are almost 3 wide. They pull back into formation. Here comes Bobby Santos the third. Brainerd tries to make a run for it. Off the second turn, down to the bottom of turn 3.
Chuck Doherty, I think, will be a driver to be reckoned with because he's already shown he can run on the outside, which means he can pass anywhere on the racetrack.
Back
Something
up to
remember.
third, Matt. We've got Burrill making a bid down into Rocco. It doesn't pay off. Meservey is right there. That's another hot spot in this field.
Doug Meservey hounding the back bumper of the 18 car of Burrill. Again, the battle intensifies for first and second. Bissett leading, but hiding in his back seat, the 16 of Willie Hardy. So those two guys have kind of opened up some distance between themselves and the rest of the field.
They sure have. We've almost got 3 or 4 little separate mini battles going on throughout this event. When they come back to the stripe, there are 23 of the 80 laps into the record books. Let's set the field for you. George the Mad Dog Bissett has been the dominant car number 93. Willie Hardy has been waiting in the wings with the 16. Third is Frank Rocco, the number 91. Fourth spot is Jeff Burrill. Fifth is Doug Meservey. Sixth is Chuck Doherty. Seventh is Kurt Brainerd. Eighth is Bobby Santos the third. Ninth is John Sandberg. And 10th is Teddy Christopher. That's currently how they run 24 laps down in this 80-lap feature.
And now Chuck Doherty going to work against Doug Meservey in the 69 car. Doherty on the outside again. Can lightning strike twice for the driver of car number 78?
Doherty gets a nice run. These are momentum race cars, Matt, and if you can run the outside lane, keep the RPMs up, you're going to have success. And Doherty is showing just that. He goes to the outside of Meservey. Will he take it in deep enough? Keep that momentum going. They are side by side off turn number 4. Back to the stripe they come.
Well, Chuck Doherty, a momentum driver. Very smooth, not herky-jerky at all. And right now he is pulled dead even with Doug Meservey. They blister their way on the backstretch. And the man with a power surge is Chuck Doherty.
Off the turn, back to the stripe they come. Just in front of them, it's Rocco holding off Burrill. Burrill goes to the inside. Doherty goes to the outside of Meservey. 4 cars contending. Off the turn, a battle of the blue, then a battle of red and white down the back straightaway.
And right now, the blue of Burrell seems to have the upper hand against Rocco. They dance their way into the fourth quarter. Burrell has moved back into third. Keep an eye on the battle behind him between Meserve and Doherty.
No question about it. Meserve's got his hands full down underneath Doherty. Burrell has taken back the third spot. Rocco sets back in fourth. He's angry. He's moving back into contend. Then it's Meserve in position number 5. 6 is Doherty. He's loose now off turn 4.
One of the most improved drivers on the track, Frank Rocco, trying to hang on to the number 4 position. Deeper in the field, Bobby Santos putting plenty of pressure as Chris Pastriak is in trouble. He huffs and puffs his way down the front stretch.
It seems to be over for Chris Pastriak, but it's not over with in the battle through about 4th through 10th position. And now Doherty tries to get a nice run for it again around Meserve. Can't do it. Meserve comes off the turn like a rocket. Brainerd is still there. Santos is waiting in the wings, and Christopher and John Sandberg are directly behind them.
Well, that crew found the miracle cure for the 69 of Meserve. Talked to him before the race, Ben, and he said that the Featherlight Series really wasn't to his liking. He is having a lot of fun in the SK division at Stafford Motor Speedway. He's got to be having a lot of fun now. A little contact between himself and Frank Rocco.
As they come back to the stripe, another good battle going on there, but back to the point, it appears that the Mad Dog has still got a mirror full of Willie Hardy. They have been nose to tail lap after lap. Barilla's broken away. He's all by himself. 4th is Rocco. 5th is currently Meserve. 6th is Doherty. 7th is Brainerd. 8th is Santos. And 9th is Teddy Christopher. Sandberg sets in 10th, but Christopher's car still not working well.
You know, if you were going to handicap this race at the start of the festivities, Mad Dog Bissett would have been one of the longest shots on the board. But he has done a masterful job holding off the crafty veteran, Willie Hardy. They launched their way across the stripe, and Mad Dog has opened up about a 2-car length advantage over Willie Hardy.
He sure has. He's working the lap traffic to his advantage as he comes up on Wendell Daly's car. Ricky Young's car didn't have a lot of power beneath the hood of that, and that will become the next car to be lapped in this event, just 34 laps in to the 80 laps, the overall distance here.
Maybe somebody has lit a fire underneath Ted Christopher as he is finally got away from John Sandberg, and he is working on the combination of Bobby Santos and Kurt Brainerd. Let's go to Tony.
Well, real quickly, Chris Pastriak, the helmet's off, the belt's coming off, a lot of smoke out of the engine compartment. Something has failed internally in the engine. He is behind the wall, done for the evening.
Heartbreaking situation there, but he got some experience at the big track here at Stafford. He'll be back for sure. He's shown his family and the Pastriak name well here at the half mile. Meanwhile, little further back, they're starting to string it out just a bit. Perhaps this is the cool down period at the halfway points.
And there is no cooling off for a driver like Ted Christopher, but he is content right now to run about in 9th place, 1 notch behind Bobby Santos.
Kurt Brainerd drops off the pace. Matt with the number 96 car. He was running up front. Apparently mechanical problems, the story there. 38 laps and counting. 2 laps shy of the halfway marker in this 80-lap event. It is still George the Mad Dog Bissett, your leader. Willie Hardy sets in second, 5 positions behind your leader. Then it's about, well, we'll call it a quarter of a turn. Behind them is Jeff Burrell. Meserve is closing up on Burrell. That is currently your 4th place car. Doherty is up to the top 5. Then it's Rocco in 6th. 7th position held down by Santos. 8th is Teddy Christopher. And 9th, we believe, is the number 27 car for Sandberg. And the Chris of Sella, number 6, is also moving in.
Well, George Bissett, the only yellow that he wants to see is on the uniforms of the Simpson safety crew. He doesn't want to see it come out on the track, but we have 40 laps to go. The second half of this race should be very interesting. We have Ted Christopher moving along in 8th. Bobby Santos holding him off. We saw the same thing in the heat race, Ben, except that time it was for 1st and 2nd. Right now it's for 7th and 8th. And once again, Santos is getting the best of the situation.
Doherty has moved into the top 5 with car number 78. Here comes Rocco to challenge again. Can he do it? Down into 1. Doherty guards the spot. Rocco appears visually the quicker of the 2, but it is Doherty that holds on to position number 5.
Chuck Doherty, another one of those drivers that starts off the races kind of casually and then picks up intensity as it goes on. So Doherty in good position for him, but right now he almost needs Doppler radar in his car to keep track of Mad Dog Bissett. He is almost a half a track ahead of the 78.
There is no question about it as the field starts to string out. George the Mad Dog Bissett, if you've got a watch, you'll discover that he has maintained the same times almost lap after lap, and that's a key to pacing himself. He's not overrunning the race car. He's just staying where he needs to at the front, trying to save those tires. Remember, these competitors are used to 50 laps counting yellows, not 80 laps counting greens.
You know, Woody Pitkat made a good point after winning the late model race. He said the key to Stafford is doing the exact same thing on every lap. That's what they tell you in racing school. It worked for Pitkat, and now here's Tony with some more information.
Well, Kurt Brainerd's out of the car, and I looked in as he pulled his helmet off. He said the clutch. They had a problem with the clutch earlier. They changed it, and he said it's disintegrating inside the car. It would be foolish to stay out any longer and trash the transmission or anything else, so he's behind the wall.
Not a very good way to celebrate an anniversary, Tony. It is his first anniversary, so we wish him well there, but a tough day for Kurt Brainerd. 47 laps now show up on the big board, and George the Mad Dog Bissett isn't slowing a bit. He is now starting to pull even further away from Willie Hardy. Trouble now. Beservi's got a problem, Matt.
Beservi on the grass, losing a lot of positions, so he took a U-turn. The scenic route did not pay off for Beservi.
He mowed some of the grass down the back straightaway, but that wasn't necessary because it's a long winter ahead, and the frost would have taken care of all of that. But Beservi is now fighting that race car. 48 laps and counting on this 80-lap event.
We have the 38, 2 laps down, the 10 of Ricky Young, the 66 of Wendell Daly, and the 39 of Chris Jones are all 1 lap down. Everybody else, we believe, is on the lead lap, and a man in his own racetrack almost. He's in his own solar system. George Bissett, as now Willie Hardy trails by about a $3 cab ride.
He sure does. Let's set the field for you. 50 laps in. Car number 93, George Bissett is your leader. 16, Willie Hardy is in second. 18 of Jeff Burrill is third. Fourth position, the 78 of Chuck Doherty. Fifth spot, the 81 of Santos. Sixth spot is Rocco. Seventh spot is Christopher. Eighth spot is Chris Sacella. And ninth spot is John Sandberg. Just out of the top 10, we believe, is Beservi, or close to the top 10, with car number 69, even though he had a problem on the racetrack.
Beservi trying to make up for it now, but he lost a lot of real estate. Here comes the Mad Dog, George Bissett, probably 20 laps away from one of the biggest moments in his racing career.
Interestingly enough, on the last circuit coming off turn number 4, the Mad Dog car developed a severe push coming off turn number 4. Watch him try to keep this car down. Look how wide and how high it goes out to the wall. Is that going to be a problem? Is the handling starting to go away? Or is the Mad Dog just running a whole different line? Maybe that's part of his strategy too.
Well, maybe he is trying to conserve the car in case he needs it for the final laps. But that bears paying attention to, as Willie Hardy really not able to chew into that lead very much. Burrill third, Doherty in fourth, and we check in with Tony Sutton.
Well, I just went down to the Mad Dog's crew and I said, "What's he saying?" And they said, "Not a word." I said, is he saying the car's pushing?" They looked at me and they said, "He isn't saying anything. He's just driving the car." And they're just standing around looking at each other, hoping we stay green and he stays out front.
If you know George the Mad Dog Bissett, the fact that he's not talking is an amazing statistic all by himself. He is a madman. They gave him the right name.
And Willie Hardy is indeed closing up the gap between himself and Bissett. Very colorful man, George Bissett. We had him on the inside skinny quite a few times during the regular season. He always has something funny to say, but Ben, he's not laughing now.
I want you to watch. Watch this race car come out of turn number 4. He's cut the wheels, but watch the wheels. The car's got a severe push. He's having a real problem coming off turn number 4. Willie Hardy knows this. His spotter's telling him that the Mad Dog's got a problem. The car has developed a severe push coming off the turn. The tires are starting to go away. Watch it this time. Look at the tires themselves. He's cut the wheel, but guess what? The car wants to go in its own direction. In the old days, they called that plowing. and that isn't what George the Mad Dog Bissett wanted to have happen now.
So the Mad Dog needs a new leash, and having a new lease on life is Willie Hardy into second spot. Remember, Mad Dog goes high in the turn. That should give Willie Hardy all the room he needs.
Just as we predicted, the spotter was on top of his game. He was able to give his driver the right advice that the worst part of the racetrack for the Mad Dog was turn 4, and Willie Hardy went to the bottom. George the Mad Dog Bissett couldn't hold the car down. It had a mind of its own. Back to the stripe. Hardy is your brand new leader.
And now the yellow comes out. The 97 of Horton in trouble, and the gold is out on lap number 59.
Stay tuned. There's more to follow. Back up through the gears. Green, green, green down into turn 1.
And Bissett gets a pretty decent restart operating against Willie Hardy, but now Hardy, with a burst of energy, pulls away.
Burrill is aware of the fact that it appears that the Mad Dog has a problem. Now, it appears, watch that car this time coming through the turn. Still starting to drift out, but it's not as bad, Matt. I think that cool-down period did help a bit for George Bissett, who's now settling back into second. Burrill and Doherty are locked together. Burrill and Doherty literally locked together, almost as if their Nerf bars got caught together, and both go in, and Doherty and Burrill will hit at a ton. We sure are off turn number 4. Doherty is a true professional. Right now we've got a great bid for the lead again. Cool down period works, and it helps out the Mad Dog. Look at Meservey. He's back to life, Matt, up into the 3rd spot.
It looks like he saved something for the final 20 laps. On the outside is, as they come off the turn, it is the 81 of Bobby Santos and Chris Osella. For him to finish in the top 5 today against this field, it would almost seem like a victory for him. One of the low buck operators who seems to get the maximum out of that race car.
And look at Teddy Christopher. He's literally manhandling that race car. Meservey now takes a shot at it down underneath the number 93 car. His dad is the spotter. He's had a lot of time behind the wheel of a race car. I'm sure he's telling him the weakest points of the racetrack for the Mad Dog. Bobby Santos the 3rd, showing his patience again. Here comes Christopher. He moves down underneath the independent runner, Chris Osella. Back to the stripe they come.
What a power move he put on Osella as he just blurred his way past him. So Christopher looks serious in car number 13. They jostle around the second corner. Here comes Teddy on the outside. And let's see if he can make the move. He backs off just a little bit as he pounds his way to the front.
Bonsai move gives Rocco a shot that would literally make your fillings in your teeth literally fall out. That's how hard he hit him, but he's still right there, and Rocco isn't giving up. The Earth Technologies machine is digging in and holding on to the 5th spot.
Rocco in trouble, spins and slams against the wall.
Caution flag comes out again. Frank Rocco. Apparently that Nerf bar that was rubbing on the tire creates a problem for him. Let's go to Tony Sutton.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Ben. As he was coming down the front straightaway, when he got back on the gas coming out of 4, there was a substantial amount of smoke coming off that left rear tire. And as he lifted going into turn number 4 on the back straightaway, you could just see the tire come out from underneath the car, and it turned him around and he backed into the wall.
Frank Rocco's going to get into the 97.
It is Mad Dog getting the jump on the restart. So maybe Mad Dog's car was cured by that yellow flag situation, but he mesmerized Willie Hardy.
Remember, those long cool-down periods will work, and they have shown it is working so far. But for how long? Because there's still a lot of laps left in this one. Teddy Christopher is down to the bottom. Here comes Santos with Meservey. Wheel to wheel down the back straightaway.
Meservey is going to roar into 3rd, holding off Santos. Christopher remains in contention. Osella spins around in turn 4.
Osella, something literally on the race car got loose. Throw a blanket over the top 5 as our attention still shifts to the battle going on at the point. They're all jammed up there down the back straightaway.
Yellow comes out on lap 66. As Chris Osella is eventually able to fire that car, but not before the yellow flag came out. Will it be Mad Dog repeating what he did on the last restart, or will Willie Hardy get revenge? New driver in the 97, Frank Rocco, but the same faces at the front, George Bissett.
Bassett still holding on. Look at Santos digging in. They are 3 wide down the back straightaway.
That's a bold move for a 17-year-old to make. Christopher, the loser of that. Christopher coming back. 5 cars could fit under an umbrella. Meserve fading.
Christopher moves into the 3rd spot. Hardy goes to the outside. That's the bad place to run as they head into turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Hardy's got to work it. Remember what happens in turn 4 with the Mad Dog's car. Is it going to happen now? Willie Hardy prays it won't. Back to the line they come.
3 cars could fit in a Kleenex box. On the outside of Bassett is Willie Hardy. Here comes Christopher down low. Bottom shot. He backed out of it. Bobby Santos wraps his back bumper. Hardy pulls even with Bassett.
No question about it. Down into turn number 3. It's not over with yet. There's 5, 6 cars contending. This time, Hardy's got the advantage off the turn, back to the line.
Hardy with a monster move, but here comes Bassett in turn 1. Christopher is back at it. Hardy hanging on by his fingernails, by his toenails, and here comes Bassett reclaiming the top spot as they head into turn 4.
Contact is made. Hardy goes spinning like a top. Santos has no place to go. It's the Mad Dog back to the line.
Lap 69 and the gold comes out as a great battle for the lead ends in frustration for Willie Hardy Jr.
They are side by side up through the gears. Green and racing as they come back to the line.
Here we go. Teddy gets a half a car ahead. Is it a go or is it not?
Looks good. Down the back straightaway. The Mad Dog still in command. Look at Meserve dig in, Raleigh. He's about to challenge Teddy Christopher for 2nd.
Look at this. What a move by Meserve. He takes the 2nd spot away.
Well, the same type of a problem that Bassett has, now Teddy Christopher has in turn 4, but it doesn't exist in turn 2. You know why? Because here at Stafford, all the turns are a little bit different. The magic of one is not always the magic in another. Meserve's going to make a bid for the lead off turn 4.
Here we go. 71 now complete. 9 laps remaining. And look at Meserve go. He takes the top spot away now out of 2. And here comes Ted. He'll fight for that 2nd spot. How about John Sandberg hanging right in there too, the 27 car.
Christopher Mal takes over 2nd. Sandberg sees the door open. Will he be able to get in or will the door close? It closes. But now the Mad Dog is fighting that race car, and now Sandberg has got a car that's a little bit loose, the opposite problem, but he's challenging, and Sandberg takes over 3rd.
What a move by Sandberg. He just bonsai'd that one. Mad Dog's coming back though. They don't call him Mad Dog for nothing. Here he comes, working his way back inside Sandberg.
And here comes the kid. He's back up into the top 5. Bobby Santos III is not done yet. Give him position number 4. The kid's a man with a mission.
Wow. Now here's Teddy with his patented move to the inside. That snooker move in turn 1 doesn't pay off this time. Meserve holding him off. Here we go.
When they come back to the line, there'll be 5 laps remaining in this event. Battle is for 1st and 2nd. Sandberg loses it all by himself. We're green and still racing under green down into turn 1.
Ted looks inside one more time. No, sir. No room there that time.
Santos still working over the Mad Dog. Off turn number 4, back to the stripe they come. Christopher goes to the outside. Doesn't have enough. Down into turn 1, Meserve still guards the spot. 4 laps and counting.
Whoa, what a race. This is what modifieds are all about, folks. Oh, I tell you. Off the turn. Once again, Ted looks to the outside, but Meserve shifts up just a little bit.
77 laps just clicked off on the board. Meserve still at the point. Christopher right there. When they come back to the line, there'll be 2 laps to go. Santos still working over the Mad Dog. Battle is for 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Back to the line they come.
2 laps remaining now. Well, folks, it's right down to nitty-gritty time. Here we go. The battles for 1st and 2nd and for 3rd and 4th.
When they come off turn number 4, this time the white is out. And to make his final call here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, Raleigh Jacobs to call the final lap of 2003.
Yes, Meserve strong off turn 2, able to hold Christopher at bay down the backstretch. Plenty of power there. Ted closes in with his patented move. A last-ditch effort. Off the turn he comes. Meserve heading for the line, and Doug Meserve takes down the final win in this, the first Stafford Invitational. Well done by Doug Meserve, well done by Ted Christopher, and a job well done by George Mad Dog Bassett in the 83 car. And how about young Bobby Santos showing the folks what a future he has ahead of him. That 81 car taking down the number 4 spot.
Well, you've just witnessed history in the making here at Jackaroot Stafford Motor Speedway. Doug Meserve, his dad is smiling from ear to ear with a tear in his eye as his boy has done it. He won the Invitational, the final event of 2003 as part of CarQuest Racing from Jackaroot Stafford Motor Speedway. For all of you that came out and enjoyed the visit here tonight, remember those stocking stuffers, those season's tickets to 2004. And on behalf of Jackaroot Sr., Mark Aroot, Robbie Aroot, Jackie Aroot, and all the rest of the gang, we thank you for being a part of our success story. NASCAR Auto Racing, Stafford's Way, presented by Team Stafford at Jackaroot Stafford Motor Speedway. Tony Sutton will have the last word from CarQuest Victory Lane as our winner is heading, doing donuts, the victory lap backwards around the racetrack, and he'll be heading down to Tony Sutton. That's one happy young man, Raleigh.
You bet he is. Wow. He got a very late start in the season, only raced the last 4 weeks with us, but he certainly was right in contention in a lot of events, but really poured it on here in the closing stages of this one. Well, the Meserve family has been connected with racing for a long time, and that was a well-deserved win for Doug, no question about it. He was very tenacious all night long, very steady. Just didn't seem to make any mistakes, and it all ends up in his favor with the win tonight.
It sure does, and of course, he's heading to the winner's circle. It's taken him a little while to get himself composed with all of this, but he'll be down into CarQuest Victory Lane. On behalf of our broadcast team here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, again, we thank you for your support. Matt Buckler, who just did an outstanding job, a class act, Jimmy Thompson, Tony Sutton, and the rest of the gang. Our condolences go out to Gary Danko, who wasn't in attendance here tonight. His dad passed away this week, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Gary and Brian Danko, big supporters of racing. Gary, of course, a proud part of our broadcast team here at Stafford. But right now, Tony Sutton, you're down where it's happening, pal, in CarQuest Victory Lane.
Well, I tell you what, the smile on this gentleman's face is it's as big as I've seen it, and he's always a smiling guy as he takes a little at Village Spring water to replace the liquid that's lost. The crew congratulating him. That's the owner. Watch out for the pipes, they're hot. Well, Doug's still being congratulated, and he's coming out of the car. The crew, everybody here, really, really happy for him. Doug out of the car, up on the roof, and there goes the water as everybody scrambles. Doug, congratulations, man. What a great drive you put on.
Well, I'll tell you, it was interesting tonight. These guys are tough, and, you know, they know this track so well, and I'm learning every week. And, you know, we just were able to miss the wrecks, and the car stayed together. And what a race. I'll tell you, these guys are great to race against. Well,
I'll tell you, the thing that was really interesting, you fell back a little bit. You actually spun, dropped back about 10 positions, but then you were able to gather it back up, and the car seemed to get stronger as you drove on.
Yeah, you know, car just kept getting better, and I don't know if it was getting better or those guys were getting worse, but it was my fault. You know, I got out of turn 2, and I just got loose and had to save it, but we're really fortunate. Thank the Lord, and thank everybody for coming tonight. We're just really thrilled.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun to watch. It must have been a lot of fun from your position, crossing the finish line first in front of all this field. But what a great way to end the season, and we hope it's going to be kind of the kickoff for next year, 2004.
Well, let's hope so. It's been a long time since I won a race. Last time I won a race was at Riverside Park Speedway, and I think it was 95, so we're pretty happy to be here.
Well, I'll tell you what, if your driving is as consistent next year as it was tonight, we're going to be talking a lot more in this position.
Yeah, we shook a little rust off here. I think we're doing okay.
Doug Meserve, the winner of the Challenge Invitational race. His crew congratulating him. We'll move back here. Our second.
Certainly, Tony, there's no word spelled Q-U-I-T in this man's vocabulary. He gave it everything he had, no question. TC, another great run.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know if you heard what he said, but you had some misfortune early on. Had to come in and do quite a bit of adjustment on the car, but you stayed at it. You worked hard. I know you'd rather be up there one more place up, but second place, nothing to be ashamed of with the amount of work you had to do.
No, the rear end's all bent in the car, so that really affects the way the thing handles a lot. You know, I really got to give the crew credit. We made a bunch of adjustments to get it, to be as best we could, but nowhere near as the potential that this car usually is. And hey, second's not bad, but we know what we have when we have it right.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a wild year, up and down. You've had some tremendous runs and some really bad luck. You're going to focus in on next year in a different way, or what's your tentative plans?
No, the end of the year came out real good because, we won the last race here, for the last at the fall final, and this car's probably won the last 2 out of 4 races run. So it's our own design, in-house stuff, and nobody else can have it, so that'll be good come next year.
Well, congratulations on a great end of the year and finishing in second spot.
Thank you.
And how about that man who finished third? What a race he put on, I'll tell you. What a way to finish the season. George Bissett also has to be wearing a smile, although he'd rather have that #1 spot. He's got to be happy, Tony.
Well, I'll tell you what, George, what a tremendous drive. We know the car was starting to go away latter part of the race. We could watch the thing go right up to the wall, but you managed to keep the tires cool during those yellow laps, those yellow flag laps, and the car came back time and time and time again. What a great drive.
Wow, geez, thanks a lot. I mean, we just got this car. This is the first time we've been, driven it. We really didn't know what to expect. We didn't know how much we had to tighten the car up or how little. I got some experience here with Bob Horn. I mean, thankfully he let me drive his car, and we had some success in that too as well. I mean, maybe it's not as much as we would have liked, but so it gave me a little stepping stone. And then when we got this, I had some guys, they pulled together and helped me out, and here we are.
Well, I'll tell you what, a very, very impressive run. A lot of people rooting for you all the way through. We know you were struggling there near the end there, but boy, man, what a performance. Congratulations on third place.
Proud of me now, Dad?
There you go. George, the Mad Dog Bissett, with a tremendous performance, finishing on the podium. Raleigh Jacobs, it's been a real pleasure working with you, man. I learned a lot, and I feel very honored to have had the opportunity to work with you. I wish you and your lovely wife the best, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Well, Tony, thank you. It's been a pleasure to be with you, sir.